racing is a team event. It's something I'm personally passionate about, but requires a team to execute it. It's something different and exciting. So then to get local companies involved in that, and people in from those companies that may not have been involved in racing before, to come along and attend an event and just enjoy the experience.
Hey, this is Shay.
And this is Carrie.
Welcome to the Pocket Change Podcast,
where you'll learn better ways to spend, save, and invest and take control of your financial journey.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Shay.
Start your engine.
What are you doing?
I'm gearing our audience up for our podcast today.
Oh, I see what you did
You
there.
see, we at Leaders Credit Union are committed to our community, the growth and vitality of our community. So we're going to talk to someone. May have to do something with racing about a series that's happening in West Tennessee and throughout the country.
Well, I'm excited to talk to our guest today. We're excited to welcome our guest, Kel Kearns, who will be competing in the inaugural Mustang Challenge Series. Did I get it right, Kel?
That's it, Mustang Challenge Series.
Okay. We're happy to have you here.
That's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the Mustang Challenge?
Well, as you can probably tell, I'm Australian, so from the very far south. But I've been racing on and off all my life. It's something that people get really interested in at a young age. I don't play golf, but but I race cars. Coming to America, I've been here for a couple of years now. I've been working on the opportunity to race again. And the Mustang Challenge Series was something that's being organised by Ford Performance, and it's the first time it's been run in the US. Wow. So I've been working on it for about a year to put together a team, compete in the series all across North America. At this point in the Mustang Challenge Series, the first two rounds are complete. So the first one, Mid-Ohio in Lexington. It's a challenging first round. And then the second one in the iconic Watkins Glen up in the north of New York State.
Wow.
It's one of those tick-in-the-box places of historical significance for the racing fans. Still 3 more to go. So after that, Road America, which is another iconic racetrack. And then after that, Circuit of the Americas in Austin in Texas.
Wow.
It's the Formula One track. And it's also at the same time as America's round of the World Endurance Championship. So there'll be a lot of very famous global people in terms of GT cars and endurance racing there. And then the final is at Indianapolis.
Oh, wow.
And the Leaders Credit Union team are going to come and join us for that one.
Nice.
So hopefully to share the spraying of champagne for the Mustang Legends Series, which I'm competing in. So
that's what we hope for.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Wow, that's amazing. So have you always been interested in racing?
Yeah, I think when I was probably about 6 years old in Australia, the big sort of grand final race of the year is called the Bathurst 1000, and everyone usually spends the day watching that. And as a young kid, it's Ford versus GM, and that's where I sort of became a Ford guy. Ever since then, I've been interested in it, and then had the opportunity to get into go-karts, and that's where most people start when they're interested in racing. The progression, through go-karts and Formula Ford and Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1, where the superstars go, and the rest of us who then go off and get a real job and then try to get back into racing, go into other forms. So I race in GT cars, which is where the Mustang fits in on road course, and I've been enjoying that for a number of years.
So if you're watching on YouTube, Kel has his racing uniform on, and it's sporting a nice Leaders logo across the front. It looks great, Kel.
Yeah, do you like the colours?
Oh, yeah.
So we went at purple this year with the electric lightning bolts, and our prime sponsor across the front, Leaders Credit Union. So thank you very much.
Looks awesome.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the partnership that we have with the Mustang Challenge Series?
Yeah, so racing is something that needs support. So when I set about putting a team together, I set about getting local sponsorship, and Leaders Credit Union came on board, and thank you very much to them
absolutely.
For providing the support. And so you can see them on on the suits and on the car, and we chose a purple colour for our team this year. We run 2 cars, and we've got other sponsors that have come on board. Scan Global Logistics is one that's provided the transport. We race all across America in 5 different rounds, so there's a lot of logistics to take the cars and the teams and all the gear all the way across America, backwards and forwards. We also got some support from other local businesses. YMCA have been very helpful. Agilix Solutions, and local Jean Langley Ford, just down the road from here, has really come on board and been very helpful with us as well.
That's great. It's great to hear about the partnerships that have formed through the Mustang Challenge Series. And yeah, we're glad that leaders and these other companies can partner to bring awareness to West Tennessee all over the nation, just pointing back home to where we're at. So we're glad to be a part of it. We know you've recently transitioned from Ford Blue Oval City, but tell us about your career with Ford and how you built that up here in West Tennessee.
Well, I spent 30 years with Ford. This is my 5th country that I've worked in. More recently, been involved in building and launching new facilities and new plants through India. Then I ran a new plant in China, and I was president and CEO of a joint venture in Thailand for 3 years, and now moved to West Tennessee. Spent the last 2.5 years working on the initial phases of the Blue Oval City site with Ford. And now that's pivoting to execution phase, the construction's concluded, I've taken the opportunity to move to a startup joint venture company, which is exciting, again in West Tennessee, called Amplify Cell Technologies. It's a joint venture company with Cummins, Daimler, PACCAR, and EVE Energy. Okay. So I get to stay in West Tennessee and Mississippi and build on those relationships that I've established over the last couple of years.
Well, it sounds like you've had the Ford background since you were a kid, being involved and loving the racing and everything, and so just bringing that full circle around to West Tennessee, and then also going into new ventures here and supporting our economic development in our community. So it's great to have you here supporting these ventures.
Well, it all joins together. Racing is a team event. It's something I'm personally passionate about, but requires a team to execute it. It's something different and exciting. So then to get local companies involved in that, and people in from those companies that may not have been involved in racing before, to come along and attend an event and just enjoy the experience. So it's an extracurricular activity, if you will, that pulls people together and that helps us all in business and in life and doing what we're doing moving forward.
So since you are staying in West Tennessee after living all over the world, what is it that is keeping you here?
That's a really good question. I have been to many different places, and in my line of work you can build factories and buildings, and you can get robots and tooling, and you can put those anywhere, but the difference between the places are the people. I've really found that since moving to West Tennessee, there's really been a genuine welcoming, a genuine excitement about the economic development that's happening. Local government's done a really good job to attract different companies. So in my case, now I'm involved in 2 different ones that have come to the region. They create jobs. They create jobs that are technical in nature. Then there's a flow-on effect to the community. It'll bring people in and provide local businesses with growth as well.
Yeah, it has a ripple effect because the people that may move in for new positions or a new company, they'll need, like I think we mentioned on another podcast, they'll need maybe a fence when they buy their house, or they'll need a veterinarian for their pet, and so it has this ripple effect on our community when economic development is happening. So it's exciting to hear about. And
there's a multiplying factor of about 25, people say. So if we create 10 new jobs, then it's 250 jobs are impacted in that local area because of the people that have moved in. So that's exciting.
Yeah. And so this is a financial podcast, Pocket Change podcast. So we like to share some financial tips or advice. So what's some of the best financial advice you've ever been given?
Well, I'll tell you what, about finances. Living in 5 different countries, I have to do 5 different tax returns. And that's a nightmare.
Not just money exchange. You got to deal with taxes and all that.
Yeah, taxes, and everyone has to pay them. But that gives you a bit of an insight into some of the background work that you have to do. But in terms of financial advice, the only other thing I'd add, other than taxes, is diversification. If you look back in the time that I've been travelling, there's been global financial crisis, there's been COVID, there have been wars in different countries, and there's been a lot of disruption, and you can't really predict that. So I think out of that, from a financial perspective, then diversification in where you put your money is the advice that I'd give. Yeah.
That's great advice.
And not just in investing, but you can also put some at your local credit union. You can offer that advice to our listeners too.
Absolutely.
So I have one last question for you, Kel. If you were to find some extra change in your pocket, what would you spend it on?
I really enjoy going out to nice restaurants and having a nice dinner, a glass of wine. Since I've been here, I've seen a growth of additional restaurants sort of popping up, once a month or something like that, as the area is growing again. So too does that part of the business community, and there's some great new restaurants coming up, whether it's downtown Memphis or downtown Jackson. I really enjoy going and having a nice meal and having a glass of red.
Sounds good
Supporting
to me.
local, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you so much for joining us today on the Pocket Change podcast. Thanks for being here with us, Kel.
Thank you very much for supporting. It was great.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Pocket Change podcast.
Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe, and check out this episode on YouTube, and you can see Kel's racing uniform.
The Pocket Change podcast was brought to you by Leaders Credit Union,
where we power your passion and make lives better. Cha-ching! Leaders is federally insured by the NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Learn more at leaderscu.com.